Chapter 42. Steel and Crows. The hammer fell in a steady rhythm, a heartbeat of steel against steel echoing through the forge like an ancient pulse. Each strike was precise, measured, born not of brute force but of attention. The sound blended with the deep roar of the furnace and the hiss of red-hot metal meeting water, forming a cadence that seemed older than the dwarves, older even than the mountains. Sweat slid down Alden's brow, mingling with the soot that already darkened his skin. The heat enveloped him completely, yet it did not oppress him. It was a familiar heat, known, one that did not burn the soul. 2 weeks had passed since the rite of Durvak Legacy. 2 weeks since Duran had challenged King Durin in the stone arena. 2 weeks since the Varogs had descended from the sky like a black plague, and the Colosseum had become a battlefield. And yet, here he was, forging. The work of the forge had a strange effect upon his mind. It did not empty it entirely, but it set his thoughts in order, as though each hammer blow drove the chaos a little farther away. He did not think of the abyss. He did not think of the mark. He did not think of destinies or prophecies, only of steel. Each strike stirred memories, but not the ones that woke him in the night, drenched in sweat. Not of fire, screams, and death. These were different, older, gentler. Hearthglen, Bram's forge with its low roof and walls blackened by years of honest labor. The scent of coal mingled with that of freshly baked bread Elna would carry in a basket, smiling as he, a boy too thin for the hammer he held, tried to imitate his master's movements. "Listen to the metal, lad," Bram would say in his deep voice. "Do not shout at it. Let it speak." Alden smiled without realizing it. The hammer fell once more. The steel yielded, obedient. In those days, the future had been simple. Learn the trade, grow. Perhaps one day take over Bram's forge. Marry Elena, have children who would run through the hills while he forged tools for farmers he knew by name. In the mornings, Kalor trained him alongside Kyle in the hills behind the village. "The sword is not only strength, Alden," he would say while correcting his stance. "It is decision." All of it now seemed impossibly distant, almost innocent. The impact rang out again. "Alden!" Corim's voice pulled him from his thoughts. The old dwarf stood beside the anvil, arms crossed, watching him with an attention that admitted no distraction. His gray beard, braided with silver threads, gleamed in the furnace light. "Come," he said, "I have something for you." Alden set the hammer aside and wiped his hands on his apron before following him to a side table. 3 pieces lay there beneath a thick cloth. Corim removed it without ceremony. The breastplate was magnificent, silvered, clean-lined, free of unnecessary ornament. At first glance it appeared light, almost simple, yet Alden knew quality when he saw it. The bracers beside it bore the same impeccable finish. "Durkan steel," Corim said without preamble. "It is not a full suit of armor. I did not have time for more. But these pieces will grant you greater protection than any overbuilt human plate." Alden lifted the breastplate carefully. It was light, yes, yet it carried a different kind of solidity, as though the metal remembered its birth in the depths. "Against weapons," Corim continued, "against magic, and you will move without looking like a cursed war cart." Alden turned the piece in his hands and saw it. On the left side, near the heart, an emblem had been engraved, the stylized head of a wolf, wreathed in rising flame. "This?" he asked. Corim followed his gaze and gave a grunt that might have been a laugh. "I thought you might use a symbol, the bearer of the mark, accompanied by a she-wolf of Thalen." He glanced toward the doorway, where Luthera rested in shadow, amber eyes watchful. It seemed fitting. Alden ran his fingers over the engraving, the wolf, the flames. Something in his chest settled, as though the image had been waiting for him. "I like it," he said quietly. "Very much." Corim nodded once. "Do not thank me yet. The abyss does not forgive mistakes. And that armor," his voice lowered, "will protect your body. What you carry within, that is yours alone." Alden placed the pieces into the sack the dwarf handed him. "One more thing," Corim added, producing an object wrapped in leather. Alden unwrapped it. His dagger, the one he had forged weeks earlier as his trial with the Durkan. Now it bore a new hilt of dark leather braided with silver thread, and a pommel carved in the shape of a wolf's head. "It is perfect," he murmured. "Go," Coram grunted. "You are ready to descend into that hole." Alden left the forge with the sack slung over his shoulder. The cold mountain air struck him sharply, reminding him that the calm of steel would not last forever. The abyss awaited them. Night fell over the camp like a heavy cloak. Torches flickered among the tents, and the wind carried the scent of smoke and heated metal from distant forges. Inside the main tent, lit by a single oil lamp, Riven and Ralam sat facing one another. Between them, a map of northern Myranthel lay spread, red lines converging upon a single point. Cara Dûm. Ralam took a measured sip from his cup. "What is he like?" he asked at last. "The bearer of the mark." Riven did not answer immediately. He studied the map as though he could see beyond the parchment. "I saw him once," he said, "in the mountains. He is little more than a boy." Ralam let out a short laugh. The great Riven could not capture a boy. What fortune! And so now we march an entire army toward the gates of the dwarves. Riven lifted his gaze. To call it fortune is to underestimate what occurred. He remembered the moment, the unleashed power, the collapse. "He used something," he continued, "magic, or something akin to it. Had I known, I would not have allowed it." Ralam leaned forward. "Always the same, leave nothing to chance." He drank. "That is why you were chosen to lead the Order of the Crows." There was resentment in his words, subtle but present. Riven glanced toward the entrance of the tent. Outside, the camp shimmered in torchlight. "I command the order," he said, "but the one who leads this army is you." Ralam rose and stood before him. "I could not allow myself to lose to you," he said, meeting his gaze. "Never." The silence thickened. Outside, perched upon a banner, a crow watched. Among its black wings, a single white feather gleamed in the torchlight.